Oh, Falls Creek, your cosy, cosy village, we are lost in love. Your food and beverage, to die for. It hurts to leave, but leave we must. A fishing rendezvous in the valley for Chef John and Jean-Francois was to be had.
Okay, John, I've brought you down here to the river for the fly fishing challenge with Jean-Francois from France. You up for it?
Mate, I'm up for that challenge. And, it's going to be a pretty good day. But is he really from France?
Indeed he is. Go get him.
Oh, bro.
Hi, John.
How you going
Good to
there?
see you.
Good to see you as well. Mate, where have you brought me to today?
We're just on the Oven River, somewhere halfway between Bright and Hotham. So I've come down to show you one of my favourite spots to fish.
Oh, I can't wait, mate. It looks amazing. It looks so good out here.
It's quite early in the season, but look, it's quite warm today. I've seen a few insects. I've actually spooked a few trout in there, so they'll be just slowly coming out of winter and get into feeding frenzy. Here you only have to cast about a few meters to catch a fish. It's not like saltwater where you've got to do these big long casts. The fish are pretty much sitting at your feet here.
It looks like tight country out there, doesn't it?
It is, and you get your occasional blackberry just to spice it up a little bit.
Okay,
let's
go. Do it. Let's do it.
The fish, the gin, the chef, the foodie town of Bright. It was time for one last degustation. Where would it be?
Here we are, 15 Wool Street, Reed & Co. Distillery with Hamish.
I've got a fish delivered to me this morning.
Yeah, I know, I lost a bit of a bet there. Went fishing with Jean-Francois.
Yeah.
And pretty much there was a little bit of a wager going on who caught trout. I'm a saltwater fisherman, so saltwater fly fisherman.
No excuse here.
Jean-Francois took me to go chase trout in the streams.
Yep.
And pretty much we had a little handshake and went, whoever catches a fish, has a little wager there and wins, but I lost. And?
Well, actually, I think we both lost because I'm cooking it for you today.
I was going to say, yep. Now, mate, how did you come to be in the mountains, and how did you, what was your passion to make you a chef?
All right, that's a long story. So I'm going to give you a drink here of aviation to start off with.
Mate.
So started cooking from quite a young age. Cooked for a few years and became a restaurateur at 23. And then we moved into distilling about 4 years ago, which was a bit of a natural progression for us. So we had a little lab set up of the side of our last kitchen.
Every chef does that.
Yeah, of course. You've got to have some time to play.
Yeah.
So with that, we're looking at more oil extractions and taking different flavors at different temperature ranges. So the problem is when you cook a fruit, it gets a vegetable flavor over like 30, 40 degrees Celsius. The love of alcohol just took over. So we moved
that's
then
pretty much a
into
common chef trait there.
alcohol goes hand in hand.
Yep.
So now we do both. So we're primarily a gin manufacturing space with an add-on of a bar and restaurant.
Amazing, right. So with regards to your menu, you have cured dishes, like you have a cured salami that you make on there, you got a bresaola as well.
So the salami we make in-house, the bresaola we buy in. That's a salt kitchen product, but using Sher Wagyu, so it's still a really high-grade Wagyu cow of a really good farming family. And they go out to feedlot just here in Wangaratta, about 40 minutes away.
Right.
We use lots of local producers. We're really lucky here in the northeast to have so many on our doorstep. We've got the Murray cod from Myrtleford, so half an hour that way.
In regards to your career as a chef, you've travelled quite a bit.
So that was really important. So we used to travel overseas every year, at least 2 trips a year. We've travelled all through Europe, through Asia, and then pretty much fell in love with the snow. So I moved to this region when I was just 18. Worked in the snow. And went,
what drove you here? I meant the snow.
Snow and mountains. So
you ski,
snowboard, rock climb.
Right. Awesome.
And then more recently, the last few years, mountain bikes as well.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's all here, which is
Yep.
amazing.
So with regards to dishes that you do here, what would be some of your favourite dishes to cook? Because I have dishes that I love to cook,
Yep.
but what are yours?
Yeah, sure. Look,
There
on
has
this
to be.
menu, we keep it simple.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is just not to complicate things. It's just let those flavours really come over the top. We don't overuse too many techniques. We used to do that in the old restaurants.
Yep.
And we found that technique was taking over flavour. You know, our chefs were putting so much time into trying to be so left field or make something opposite to what it was. That we've
Confusion
gone back.
cooking?
Yeah.
Can we call that confusion
Yeah,
cooking?
it is
'Cause that
completely. So-
it's confused the moment it
Uh,
starts and it ends up confused on your
yeah,
palate. 'Cause
exactly
you don't
right.
know the flavours, do you? Yeah.
So we've done a whole flip side on that and just gone back to simple basic stuff.
Which to me
which
is
is
beautiful.
tasty.
Yeah.
So I think that's the main element, and then the second thing is to complement the drink. So every dish has to be put together with that in mind, that it's not to overtake the drink, kind of leave any residual flavour profiles in there that are going to affect the cocktails or the mixed drinks. So look, at the moment I'm really enjoying using the cod from Myrtleford. So we hang that over the fire for about 8 hours.
Wow.
Cure it up first, let that really hot smoke, and then at the same time we're cooking the potatoes down in the fire, so in the coals.
So here you've got a dish that's really blown me away. I've never seen it done before. You got potatoes cooked with pine tree,
Oh, pine needles.
pine needles. Is that it?
Look,
Yeah.
I'm not going to claim it as mine. The French
No, I'm sure
did
it's-
it
yeah.
over 1,000 years ago.
That's intriguing to see because I've never seen it on a menu.
So it's an old French technique. They used to use straw or hay.
Yeah.
You toast it up, wet it down, put your meat or your vegetable into there, cover it up and put it into an oven. So it works as like an insulation barrier, also imparting heaps of amazing flavours.
Wow.
So we've taken that and looked at our local environment, and what we have heaps of is pine trees. So we take dried and fresh pine needles, layer them down in below, bury the potatoes, toast them up, and then cook them in the wood oven.
Now, mate, you've got wallaby tartare.
So that actually comes from Flinders Island, so it's not from our local area.
Yeah, right.
It's
I've heard about that
really
product.
sustainable culling system they have over there.
Yep.
So it's killed in field, processed, and then gets sent across to us, which is amazing.
So what part of the wallaby do you use for a tartare?
So we're using the leg fillet at the moment.
Okay.
Which is strange because on a bigger animal you wouldn't do it, like on
Leg
deer
fillet.
or leg fillet.
So I break up a lot of animals. Where is the leg
So
fillet?
leg fillet is just down below the rump area, so it's got a lot of different muscle groups to it.
Yep. Okay.
So you clean that out, it's a fair bit of sinew, but
Yep.
because it's such a small, lean animal, you can clean it up well. Gets a little bit of touch of smoke.
Okay.
Our reason for that's more just for body. Then we season it with koji. So koji is inoculated rice that the Japanese use to start sake.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
we take that and we season it up with that. We also use it with the cultured buttermilk as well. And it gives it this really fruity, fresh flavour.
Damn, that's amazing. Now tell me about your gin. Like, I mean, your labels are amazing. They're
so this
just
is,
like, wow.
So this is Remedy Gin, so this is our mainstay essentially. Look, it took us 2 years to make this gin. It was a bit of a mind boggle. We're really chasing a flavour profile here that was of the bush. So
Okay.
it says big bushy notes, using lots of Eucalyptus citrodora as the citrus element.
What?
Instead of
What's
using,
that?
so it's a gum leaf. It puts off citrus flavour. We harvest that in the wild. We also harvest mountain pepper leaf and berries, so it's
Wow.
a big spicy gin. And this gives us that really kind of dry alpine bush notes. So there's 22 botanicals in there, which is quite a lot. So it's a bit of work trying to gather all the botanicals, then processing them, take them through the distillation process and getting it to this stage. So we make Remedy about 4 days a week. The still runs for that. And then the other 1 to 2 days is working on other products. We can make some interesting things like the Il Pico we made last wine harvest.
Yeah, right.
So we took inspiration from Mistel, so fortified grape
That's
juice.
a gin?
No, not really.
No?
It's,
Okay.
I'm a purist of gin. Gin's got to be really juniper forward.
Okay. Yep.
This we've made gin out of Chardonnay. So we took the Chardonnay,
Whoa.
we distilled that, made a base spirit, turned it into gin. Then we took that gin, and the interesting part about that gin is all the botanicals in here are local minus the juniper, which came from Hungary.
Okay.
And then we took it across to Billy Button Winery. And so this was a collaboration between Billy Button and Mayford. So the grapes came off Mayford, so Friuliano and Tempranillo. As soon as they came off the press, we fortified it with the gin.
Tell me, on the mountain, where and who would use your gin?
So we're lucky, we've got a few good businesses up there that support us, which is really nice in a small area. So
You need that local support.
yeah, so
support
Mount
your
Hotham,
local
we've
crew,
got some great guys over at the General. Also we've got the Bird, they're really good on Hotham as well. And then jumping across to Falls Creek, you'll find it in the Frying Pan and at Astra. So Astra's an amazing venue to check out. They've really, I think it's just won awards for designs throughout Europe and globally, which is really cool for an Australian ski resort. So let's jump in the kitchen.
Yep.
We'll cook this fish of yours and we'll see what happens.
Remember, it's not my fish. John Francois got it.
Francois,
Yeah,
okay.
I just lost the bet, but won it.
Yeah,
Yep.
you were there for the catch. So.
Beautiful. Let's go do it, huh?
Cool, let's do it.
Let's go. Hamish, this is my paddock to plate, isn't it? This looks beautiful.
Paddock, creek to plate, it's, you know.
Tell me about it. Amazing
Yeah, cool.
looking dish.
So we've kept it nice and simple. We've just done a really light cure over the top of that for about an hour, and then cooked it in the wood oven.
Tell you, mate.
And we just finished over the top just to keep it really clean with some wild watercress just from the creek out at Freeburg.
And what do we got here?
Okay, then we just got some creme fraiche there. This comes from King Valley. So King Valley Dairy, they produce that. They're
Brilliant.
primarily a butter factory, but they also do all these byproducts, which are amazing.
Now, is that ash? What's on top?
Okay, that's the potato ash. So that's the potatoes that were cooked in the fire for the cod dish. So we just try to use everything. So then we take those
No
out
way.
and then ash them over the top. Get in and eat that, and I'll get back to service.
Mate, thank you. I'm going to get right into this.
15 Wills Street delivered all one could want. Botanical gin, delicious food and exceptional company.
So that's it, John. Snow Chef has finished up. We've been to Dinner Plain, Hotham, Falls Creek, all within the Victorian Alps in Australia. What a trip. Enjoy yourself.
Oh, mate, thank you for having me. That was so much fun. I've never been down here before, and when I got the call up, bing, bing, come on down, I was like, I'm on that bus.
What was really enjoyable was to see so many different people from different nationalities, staying true to Australia's great multiculturalism. And they're all up in the mountains, enjoying themselves, bringing some great innovation with the food. What did you think, mate?
Mate, I was so surprised. Come down here, and it's just unbelievable. It's some great locations, great chefs, you know, doing amazing food, using local ingredients. You know, couldn't get any better, to be honest.
We're going to have a call out to all people out there that are working at high altitude, whether you're a chef, foodie, restaurateur, winemaker, brewer. If you'd like to be involved in Snow Chef, by all means, give us a call, send us a message, find us on Instagram, YouTube, call out to us. We want to know about your story. And we'll see you on the next adventure of Snow Chef.
Off the rails, you have always been. Somehow you gain speed, like a bullet train. Always evading.